This might genuinely be the first time I've ever looked at the path traveled. Hey everybody, welcome back to more Triangle Strategy. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we decided to go to the Wolf Fort domain, and unfortunately we watched our dad die. But this time, we start the Golden Path. But what are the steps that we need in order to get to that point? Well, let's just start off from the beginning. First few choices don't matter. First one that does matter is between here. Either you choose Fate and Flames, or you choose Not a Word, my friend, and you do not burn anything in, or any of the houses, anything in the Wolf Fort domain. After this, hold up, not this one, it's this one. Yes. Then we have to take the offer from Sorceley to go and smuggle to Esfrost and reveal the identity to Lord Svarog. After this, we must defend the Roselle, and of course find the key. That's needed too. This choice does not matter. You can take any of these that you want. As for here, you need to take the morality path and going to the Wolf Fort domain. And now, well, we're just about good to go, but we have some character stories to take care of first.
Oh, just look how you've grown. To think you'd produce such a bounty. And you've flourished as well. I'm so proud of you, my lovelies.
Quite the passionate one, aren't you?
Don't sneak up behind people like that. Hasn't anyone told you it's rude?
Apologies. I was just curious. What are you doing here?
If you must know, I'm harvesting herbs. I thought I might make them into medicine for the injured.
That would be helpful. Lord Serenoa will be pleased as well.
And I am oh so happy to please. I am quite taken with powerful people. People like Lord Serenoa. You'll tell him I'm doing my best to be useful to him, won't you?
Wait. That plant, it induces paralysis, does it not?
Quite knowledgeable you are. Did you know it can also be used for pain relief?
The same plant can be both a poison and a medicine?
Yes, depending on how it's used. And yet, people still try to force plants into one category or another. Good and therefore valuable, or bad and therefore detested. Foolish, don't you think? These little ones are neither good nor bad. They just are.
You treat them as if they were your children.
Perhaps it seems strange to care for a plant, which is no more than a tool for making medicines or poisons, but...
Minister Idor, about that experiment. I think we are on the verge of discovering how to better stabilize the subject.
Wait. We are not alone. Show yourself! Milo, why do you eavesdrop on us?
Don't be upset. As your spy, I thought it behooved me to keep abreast of important information.
Unnecessary. You need only do as I instruct.
But that would make me no better than a tool.
Does that displease you? Worry not. I take good care of my tools, so long as they serve me well. But should they act out of line, they will be disposed of.
Even tools have feelings.
What was that?
Nothing you need concern yourself with. Anyway, I'm certain my herbs will benefit House Wolford. Please pass on my warmest regards to Lord Serenoa.
I'm sure she'll have some comment on, "Oh, I am neither good nor bad, I just am."
You hold it right there. I said stop.
Huh? What's that about?
Ain't nowhere left to run.
Hey, what's all the fuss?
This poor boy stole an apple that was out for sale.
That true, you little brat? I know you can hear me. Is it?
What else was I to do? I was starving to death!
A thief, then. Justice must be served.
No! Let me go!
If you want fruit, buy it.
With what coin? My mom and dad died in the war. We've got nothing at home!
Just come quietly.
Wait. Let him go.
And why should I do that?
Because I'm gonna pay for the apple. Now will you let him go? I'm telling you, he won't do it again. I'm taking him under my wing.
I don't care what you do with him, long as I get my money. Just tell him we better not catch him stealing again.
Why did you help me?
Dunno. Guess it just felt like the right thing to do. Now, you're gonna promise me that you're done thieving. For good.
On my parents' graves. Thank you. The both of you.
Letting him off with a mere promise. I pray he keeps it, but I have my doubts.
In a world like this, sometimes you can't help but stoop to stealing. I should know. That's how I made it this far.
But it's no longer how you live now. Is that so?
You damned right. Even when we were bandits, my pa always told me never to steal from the poor. I've got no need for a world where the rich get richer. So I never once thought what we were doing was wrong. We were noble bandits, allies of the poor and the suffering. That was the oath I took, and I meant every word of it.
None of that excuses thievery, which you've sworn to House Wolford you're done with.
I know that, of course, but...
What?
Well, Pa now makes an honest living helping people. Me, on the other hand... There's gotta be something I can do to help the poor.
I imagine I'm at the point where it's probably just gonna keep going through everyone's character story, so I'm actually going to keep viewing those in the next episode because, well, you'll see. You'll see. It's not very easy because I have to speed through the mines. Don't worry, I'll switch it back to hard for when we get to the mission proper. And I believe all this dialogue will be the same. Bring out the scales of conviction.
understand each of you keenly, my friends. You have not arrived at these decisions lightly, and I do not doubt your convictions. Yet choosing any of the options before me risks creating a schism among the others. I cannot afford to lose any of you. Not after how far we've come. Which leaves me only one option.
Only if you have done those previous choices will you get this option. There must be another way.
Nay, I mustn't give in so readily. There must be another way. One that will bind us together, not tear us asunder. Now then, to find it. Certainties first. We cannot afford to relinquish control of the salt crystals to any one nation. Salt necessarily belongs to the people, and on that point I shall not waver. There must be a way to bring about the lasting peace Roland desires without the need for Hyzant's warped teachings. Hyzant moves to take the Grand Norzelian mines as I contemplate this. It must be stopped. They will no doubt make an ostentatious show of power in an attempt to intimidate us. What's worse, they'll soon be at our door, and we'll not defeat them with our army alone. Surely there's a way we can hold them off.
In addition to making those choices, similar to the trial that we saw in our last playthrough with Sorcery, you have different options. However, unlike with Sorcery's trial, in order to continue with the Golden Path, you must get the right options for these. And we will greet them with Wolfort Domain's Wildfire.
The wildfire, of course! Will draw them into the village and set the vast majority of their forces alight. The Hierophant will never relent, however. Hyzant will bear down on us with the full force of their army. We've no chance of winning a protracted war. Hyzant must fall, and quickly. We need Esfrost. We need the Death Snell. 'Tis the only way we'll pierce the goddess's shield. I hardly relish the thought of asking Gustadolf to come to our aid. He'll no doubt demand the salt crystals in return. Who might help us get our hands on that weapon?
Might Lord Svarog be the key?
Lord Svarog, yes! He swore to fight alongside us. It's time he made good on his word. We share a common enemy in Gustadolf. He'll be a boon! There is still the matter of how we invade Hyzant and incite the Roselle to rebel.
We can expose the truth hidden within the goddess's statue.
Yes! We'll blast away the statue and reveal Hyzant's lies for all to see. If the Rosellan legends are true, an enormous pillar of salt rests within the goddess's statue. Revealing that will prove that the Roselle spoke truth all these years. Goddess and Hierophant alike will lose all claim to authority, leaving them open to a revolt from a united Roselle. And now we have the means to make the explosives that will bring Hyzant to its knees. Just one problem remains. How will we manage to pass through the goddess's shield? No banner could pass into Hyzant without arousing suspicion. Unless...
They're at the Consortium.
Unless they've no banner at all. The Consortium, of course. One glimpse of the salt crystals ought to bring Claris to the table. So long as I play to his self-interest, the rest will follow. I have it. I've found a way to give everyone what they want most in one fell swoop. The The salt crystals will belong to all, and not just a privileged few. The people of Norzelia will finally be lords and ladies of their own making, masters of their own destinies. Benedict's fervent desire to protect the domain's integrity, Roland's yearning for equity, Frederica's resolve to free her people. I hear you all, my friends. You're not alone. Nor are the countless others who look to me at this late hour. If ever there were a time to heed my father's last words, it is now. I must forge my own path and lead my people. The scales cannot save us this time. The words of my closest confidants have revealed a way forward that the scales never could. All that remains is to convince them to follow me down the path I have made. As Lord of House Wolford, I solemnly swear an oath by which all future lords shall be bound. I will never turn my back on the promise of a better world.
Thus did Serenoa ascertain the Scale's true purpose. Taking up the mantle of his late father, Lord Simone, and the ill-fated Dragan, Serenoa returns to present his allies with a bold new vision for Norzelia's future.
I have made up my mind. We turn the salt crystals over to no one, but we do not keep them for ourselves. Instead, we distribute them equally to every person across Norzelia and change the face of the continent.
Do you hear yourself?
Do you mean this sincerely, Serenoa?
What of the Roselle?
I speak my conscience, and I promise I have not forgotten the Roselle. Pray, grant me the time to explain my strategy. We must put an end to the teachings if we are to release the salt to all Norzelians. Which is to say, the holy state of Hyzant must fall.
So we are to take up Benedict's proposal?
No. I propose we attack on 3 separate fronts.
At the same time?
We will use our domain's wildfire to prevent Hyzant from capturing the mines. Meanwhile, I wish to negotiate an accord with Esfrost that affords us use of the Death Snell. I know full well the risks involved. However, I believe we can convince Svarog, who opposes the Archduke, that an alliance is worthwhile. Finally, we expose the falsehoods that prop up Hyzant's precious teachings and incite another Rosellan uprising. In one fell swoop, we can abase the Hierophant and throw the capital into chaos. That accomplished, we shall sack the Holy State with Esfrost at our side. With both the source and the crystals in our possession, no one in Norzelia will ever want for salt. We can bring peace, equity, and stability to all Norzelia, just as Roland envisioned. We can restore the Wolfort name to its former glory and usher it into a new era, as Benedict desires. An era, my dear Frederica, in which the Roselle shall be free once and for all. What I ask may sound impossible, but we have survived long odds before. Let us cling together and do so once again. Do any present have objections to the path I have set before us?
None for me, lad. You've quickened the very blood in my veins.
Permit me to speak plainly, Your Majesty.
I am in agreement with Lord Serenoa.
We cannot dream our desires into reality. Some things must be fought for and won.
We've tried your way, Benedict. It's time we tried something new.
What say you three?
I am ashamed to admit that my obsession with the domain's safety may have blinded me to more aggressive solutions. Your plan is audacious, perhaps even reckless, but it is not impossible, and may well be worth the risk. House Wolford is better for having you at its helm, Lord Serenoa.
The fate of my people always felt so small compared to the war raging around us. Yet you would still choose to walk a dangerous path, rather than cast the Roselle aside. It would be my honor to fight alongside you, and see this through.
I honestly thought Hyzanth would rule better than I could. That they would bring prosperity to Norzelia. I shrank from my duties and lost myself to the idea of revenge upon Gustadolf. I may well have betrayed my own kingdom. But you, Serenoa, opened my eyes to the truth. And for you, my friend, as King of Glenbrook, I shall face any enemy and lead our people to glory.
Then we've no need of the scales. Our path is decided. From here on out, we shall split into 3 regiments. Allow me to explain the role each has to play. I pray that clarifies what each regiment needs do. Prolonging the war risks slowly driving the 3 kingdoms to ruin and starving their people in the process. Not to mention, all involved will lose sight of what they were fighting for, if they haven't already.
Agreed. 'Tis for the good of all if we bring it to a swift and decisive end.
And so we find ourselves contemplating war on 3 fronts.
Hyzanth and Esfrost aren't expecting such drastic action from us. The element of surprise may deliver us victory.
As will the leader of each regiment involved in this gambit.
I shall lure the Hyzantian army to their doom here at Castle Wolford.
Svarog knows who I am, and swore he would fight alongside me. I shall depart for Esfrost and hold him to his word.
Pray, let me be the one to journey to Hyzanth. I would love nothing more than to expose their false idol for all to see, and lead my people to rebel in the name of freedom.
Then I shall secure the help of Claris at the Consortium in exchange for information about the salt crystals. He can secret you inside the capital and provide you with explosives enough to fell the goddess. Though we fight on distant fronts, we are bound together in spirit. We fight to the last for Norzelia!
For Norzelia!
No, it can't be. General Avlora? Of the Esfrosti army?
Former General. I come to you now as a citizen of Norzelia, nothing more. I come to House Wolfort in search of sanctuary. I beg you, have the mercy to take me in.
Wait here.
General Avlora, we thought you missing.
Indeed, it was your actions that caused my brief disappearance, though I bear no grudge for how the battle ended. This time, however, I come to you with a humble request. I wish to join your ranks, if you'll have me.
You wish to defect? To what end?
That we may bring this fraught and fractious chapter of Norzelia's history to a close. I would see those of Lady Cordelia's generation preside over an era of peace and tranquility. You've every right to doubt me when I say Lady Cordelia has touched me. But I swore to be her sword forevermore, not Esfrost's.
We have long been enemies. You've taken much from us in Esfrost's name. I know you to be many things, General of Lora, but a schemer and a liar are not among them. I trust that you speak true, and your talk of a swift end to this conflict appeals to me. We are of the same mind.
My lord.
Nevertheless, there remains bad blood between us. There may be some within our ranks who are less than pleased to see you.
I expect there will be. I understand their hurt, and have made my peace with it. I will suffer their slings and arrows gladly, if it means bringing peace to Norzelia.
I admire your conviction. In truth, we have already arrived at our decision. Your strength is a boon we can neither hope to replicate nor replace. I welcome you, General of Lora, to House Wolfort.
My sword is yours, Lord Serenor.
That is why I wanted to wait. Because we get Evlora to our forces now. Of course, she's not as strong as when she was a boss. But she's still Evlora. Speed close? Alright, sure. We'll get into her in a little bit.
Now, Serenoa, let us divide House Wolfort into 3 regiments.
I leave the allocation of forces in your capable hands.
Choose wisely. Once the plan is in motion, we won't have the luxury of adjusting our strategy.
Understood.
And so, we have quite the group ahead of us. And, with Evlora at our side, everyone is available. Now, what I would really like is if I could see them at first. First of all, Evlora, just right away, we've seen some of her stuff before, Desperate Strike, Desperate Defense, lowers her own HP. As the boss, it lowers 5%, it is 15% as an ally. No escape, and she gets more strength. She is incredibly strong, and we will see that even more. So, I'm going to cut away while I arrange everyone, and come back after that, and then cutscene, and then I will... This is going to be a long episode, but after that I'll do the encampment. I'll upgrade Evlora and Milo to their expert rank, whatever it's called, and then off screen I'm going to grind up, get everyone fully upgraded. So yeah, I will cut away now. Okay, I think I got my setup down, and I will explain reasons for everyone. Roland's regiment we'll start off with. Cordelia, Roland's her brother. Hewitt, Sworn Shield, Sworn Bow, I guess. Maxwell, his mentor. Those three are just for the personal gains from Roland. Groma is a former general of Escross. Same deal with Flanagan, and same deal with Avalora. Three former generals going back to their old home. Rudolph is from Escross originally, and so he, well, makes sense to go back home. These two I'm a little bit less certain of. Giovanna is mainly for a gameplay reason. If we're in Escross, there will be a lot of snow, and snow really helps out Giovanna. Lionel, kinda... he's a weird one. I don't really know how to use, or where Lionel would go, so he's kinda just here by default. Benedict's regiment. Eridor is very loyal to House Wolford as well. Anna, well, Benedict is her adopted father, so it makes sense. Hossabara has long been a friend of House Wolford, as has Jens. Hossabara, of course, working in the tavern, Jens working in the blacksmith. Narv, so Travis and Trish, they have mainly been within Glenbrook, so that makes sense. Julio, former steward in Glenbrook. And it's really Piccoletta and Narv that are kind of the weird cases out in this group. Yeah, I wasn't really sure. Narv is here for a practical reason. We don't really have any healers in this group. Hossabara can heal, but she's pretty terrible at it. So Narv, a little bit extra healing, a little bit of magic on his side as well. Piccoletta, it's really good. I like Piccoletta. Frederica's regiment. Quahog. We know Quahog is, well, at least we assume Quahog is Lila's son. Any voice acting from that has been Lila's voice actor, which again, we'll get to that, who she is later. So, bring Quahog along for that if Frederica is going into Hyzant. Merida, former member of the Ministry of Medicine, same with Corentin. Both of them have that reason to go in. Archibald, a former general of Hyzant, and Milo, a former spy of Hyzant. Gila, same deal as Merida and Corentin, part of the Ministry of Medicine. Izana is the... her village is from Hyzant. She was prosecuted for her village by Hyzant. It makes sense. Serenoa is kind of the odd one out in this group, because he really fits in any of these groups, but I decided that he should go along with his lovely, lovely wife. And Decimal, we know from our last playthrough that the Hierophant is an automaton. So, Decimal meets the Hierophant. Everyone has their reasons for it.
Hyzant raises their army on the presumption they can seize the Grand Norzelian mines for themselves. The Hierophant has ordered them to destroy House Wolford as well. We, however, will not yield. The salt crystals are ours, and we will defend them with our lives. Hyzant shall bend the knee at the tip of our blades. Their army may have the advantage of numbers, but even that will mean naught against our wildfire traps. The Hyzantian army blindly obeys the Hierophant. But the Hierophant has no power here. We choose our own path, and we have the courage of our convictions. This battle is but the first step on the path Lord Serenoa has laid before us. Let us take this first step together and rejoice. For Norzelia, now and forever.
Twins Gate is sealed. Gustavov hardens his defenses at the encampment within. We will approach the gate and request an audience. We may yet find common ground with Esfrost. The Duchy wields the Death Snell, a weapon capable of reducing the goddess's shield surrounding Hyzan to rubble. We need that weapon if we are to break the Holy State's stranglehold on Salt, and thus Norzelia. I know this may feel a betrayal to some of you. Esfrost invaded us. They are the enemy. They murdered my father and brother. And I will never forget nor forgive them for it. But I believe if Father were still here, he would see that I go to Esfrost for the right reasons. That I ask them for aid so that we may thrive. For above all, a king's duty is to his people. And I would sooner cast out the shadows of the past by building a brighter future than lament our lot in life. I ask for your aid in building that bright future. Let us walk the path set before us by Serenoa, and lead Norzelia into a new era of peace and prosperity unlike any we've known.
To the plan. We shall slip into the capital of the Holy State, disguised as a band of merchants from the Norzelia Consortium. Lord Claris has taken on no small amount of risk in agreeing to help us gain entry. We are truly in your debt, Lord Claris.
I stand to gain more from a liberated Norzelia, where Hyzant no longer dictates the terms of trade and commerce. In short, spare no extra thoughts for me. This is as much a business consideration as it is helping those in need.
As he says, this is for the future of Norzelia. We now endeavor to destroy the goddess's likeness that serves as a pillar of their teachings. If the Rosellan legends are true, we will find that the statue concealed a massive pillar of salt that was stolen from my people. This salt pillar is incontrovertible proof that the teachings and the goddess around which they are built are lies. The faithful will be shaken to their core, and the Hierophant's power will wane. With luck, we may even show the Roselle they were without fault, inciting them to rise once more and cast off the yoke of their oppressors. This is nothing less than a battle to wrest control of Norzelia from the clutches of a capricious and vengeful goddess. Have you prepared the explosives, Lord Claris?
Prepared and loaded onto a cart, my lady. Enough to bring the goddess back to Earth, I should think.
Excellent. Then let us depart.
You are a marvel, Lady Frederica. A Rosellan with Esfrosti blood, fighting under House Wolfort's banner. Who better than you to challenge Hyzant's tyranny? Do you not feel the weight of destiny upon you?
This is not destiny, Lord Claris. Nothing could be less certain than the moment in which we find ourselves. Serenoa and I have traveled a long, hard road together. It brought us here, but it does not end here. And so we walk on.
Now you seek to fell the goddess. You are possessed of an iron will, if you'll forgive the expression.
I shall take that as a compliment. Watch over us, Mother.
From across the border, the Hyzantian army marches, its sights set on the Grand Norzelian mines. At its head is Exham Marshal of the Saintly Seven. Seizing control of the Salt is not his sole objective. He has come to investigate disturbing rumors that Serenoa Wolffort has forsaken the blessing of the goddess. Knowing the answer to that question and the repercussions it will provoke, House Wolffort and its allies have carved out a strategy on which their survival will hinge. They will divide their forces into three, each acting in concert to outwit their adversary. Roland will lead a company to the Asfrosti border, where they will entreat Lord Svarog for his support and the use of his death's knell. Frederica will lead her own retinue to the source to reveal the lies of the goddess's teachings and rouse the Roselle to action as her mother did before her. Benedict will remain in the Wolffort domain, ready to risk all in an effort to stave off the Hyzantian army. United by their faith in Serenoa's vision, each takes to their preparations with resolve, understanding fate's judgment is at hand.
Minister Exham has arrived with the full might of Hyzant in tow. He requests a parley. How diplomatic of him, considering his forces already surround the castle. Doubtless he'll demand that we surrender the salt crystals, and that we bow our heads low to the Hierophant. We'll deny him, of course, and a battle will follow. We must make ready. The common folk have been led to shelter, and we have oil aplenty. All that is left is to steel our resolves. Although our forces are fewer, we have the advantage of terrain. Prudent use of our traps will turn the tide of battle in our favor. The enemy knocks at our gates, but we must remain calm as we form our strategy. Our friends await news of our victory.
Oh, we don't have our character stories available. I can view those later. But, first things first, hopefully the encampment's all good to go. Shit. Shit. That's less than ideal. Yeah, that's not ideal for what I want to do. Huh. Well, guess that changes what I'm doing next time. Because next time, we will be fighting against, well, at least be investigating. I was kind of hoping for, like, a gap between decision and leaving, but guess not. But until then, see you guys later.